Hello YouTubers, welcome to this piano tutorial. Today I've got a tutorial that will give a breakthrough to those who are beginning to play the piano keyboard. Today I'm teaching on how to get the progression of a song. If you look at this method of learning the piano, we do not have any written sheet music where you can read and see the chord progression as you want to play along. So there you are, you starting to play keyboard, you've practiced your chords, you've practiced some few scales, you've practiced a few chord progressions. But when the singers step on stage and pick the microphone, you try to accompany them, you realize you cannot follow them. Why? Because you are not able to determine or to come up with the chord progression for that particular song. Now, if you're a beginner and you are having a challenge on how to get the chord progression of a song, I assure you, you are at the right place, because this particular tutorial, this video is meant for you. Today, our tutorial is going to be in the key of F sharp major, also known as flat B. Where we are exposing the piano learners on how to determine the chord progression of a song. Now, I want you to be very keen and attentive so that you can get what is hidden in most cases that will outrightly enable you to be in a position to start picking up the chord progression of songs. And with just some few practices, you'll realize it is more easier than even you thought in the first place. Now, point number one that is very crucial is that when you want to determine the chord progression of a song, it is important to, you work out that melody. Doing the melody of a song isn't very difficult because you just hum the song and you work out the melody. But what do you do with that melody once you've gotten it? Fine. In the melody of a song, there is what we call the melody landing points. It is at those particular points that you use those notes to form the chords. That area is very crucial. We're talking about what we are calling the melody landing points, or the melody landing notes, where the melody appears to be landing. At that particular point, it gives you the clue about the chord. And now, the melody is always obtained from the scale, I think, by now. If this is our F sharp major scale for today's tutorial, then when we work out the melody of a song, we work it from the various scale degrees. And once we've identified the landing points of this melody, then there is the second rule which is attached to the landing point, is that when the melody landing point is on note number 1 and number 3 and number 5, in most cases, we will do a chord number 1. I repeat that. When our melody landing point is on note number 1, number 3 or number 5, then we are most likely to have a chord number 1 or chord number 5. If the melody landing point is on note number 2 of our scale or note number 5, then we are also likely to have chord number 5 being played. If the landing point is on number 4 or number 6, in most cases, you'll find that the common chord being played is chord number 4. So, with that clue about the chords to be played with the melody landing points, and finally, if our melody landing point is number 7 or number 2 or number 5, then most likely the chord to be played is chord number 5. So I want to take you through a one-by-one step very quickly, then you get to see what I mean by how do we determine the melody of a song. Let's say we are using this song example of, "Oh Lord, my God, how excellent is your name in all the earth, how wonderful is your name." I think you know that worship song. It's a common worship song. "Oh Lord, my God, how wonderful is your name in all the earth, how wonderful is your name." Now, let's say that is the song you have. You do not know how to start. So the first thing you are going to do is to work out the melody. Remember, our tutorial is in the key of F sharp major, of because working out the melody of songs will take you some little time, little practice, and before it is long, you will be rolling and going getting every melody of the song. So like in this case, I'll work out a melody for illustration purposes. Like let's say that is our melody. So if you look at where we start at number 1. So if you listen to how I strike note number 4, it sounds like what I was calling the landing point. So we'll have, so we play chord number 4 here. I'm assuming that we have already worked out the chord inversions. At this stage, when we now work out the progression, we know some playing 4 in the second inversion, or it still works. It still works. We are at chord number 4. So you see another landing point. So we had for chord number 4, for number, that is the second landing point. So that is another landing point. So we can go through it slowly. You can also try it on your keyboard if you have your piano. So we have, so I'm here. The melody line is here, but I'm just playing 4 in the root to make you see. Or I can follow the melody line so that you see clearly. So don't bother about my left hand. I'm just doubling the octave and perfect fifth. So then that is our next chord. We are trying to work out the progression. So we have gotten, it starts from oh, or we can just play the whole chord 1. So sorry, it doesn't bring. So we'll start serious chord at number 4. 4, then 1. So the melody, the progression is from 4, then 1. We are still continuing. So we are landing at note number 2, and I said whenever we land at number 2 or 7 or 5, most likely we think of playing chord number 5. So on the left you can see I'm playing number 5. So 1. So I land at number 3 and I play chord number 1 in the second inversion. I hope you are following what I'm trying to do. So we have found out that the progression is 4, then 1, then 5, 1. And we have already worked out our chord progression for this song. So we can just play it. Oh Lord, my God, how excellent is your name in all the earth. How wonderful is your name. Are you following how simple it is? So as a recap, I said you first of all work out the melody, and from the melody the most important thing, and that is the climax of this particular tutorial today. The most important thing from that melody is what we are calling the melody landing points, where your melody appears to be landing. From there it gives you the clue of the chord. So we have gotten oh Lord 4, we land at 1 and 5, 5, 1. Then again in all the earth, how excellent is you are. I'm still in 5 because the landing you are. Then I go to 1. My viewer, if you're finding a lot of value in this tutorial, then I would urge you to like this video, share it to as many people as you can. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please hit that subscription button so that I can continue availing free lessons to you like this. Remember, we managed to come up with the chord progression for this song. And what we have found out is that 4, 1, 5, 1. Today I was trying to keep it so simple for those who are starting to learn how to get the chord progression of songs, because we are playing by ear, and as I said at the beginning of this particular tutorial, we do not have any written sheet, so our ears must be able. But the ear alone is not enough. We work out the melody, and where that melody lands, with the guideline I gave on each particular, if you're forgetting, you can rewind this video and go and check. I was giving the notes, if at all there are the landing points, the possible corresponding chord that you can play. So we have gotten our "Oh Lord, my God, how excellent is your name in all the earth, how wonderful is your name." Bye-bye. That's all I had for you today in my beginner series of how to determine the chord progression. In the subsequent videos, I'll even now try to work out on songs with complex chord progressions. How can we work them out? The ones with minor and even some other chords. Let's meet in the next tutorial. Keep it right here in this channel.